Good afternoon, y'all. Had a union day today. Had to be at Harlem shop, Rosemont shop, then back to Harlem shop. Wasn't going to be able to get to Harlem on time. Transit, so I went ahead and got the car, go to Harlem shop, and we have it's right here for you. That didn't hold up, so oh well. Thought I was going to be able to give you a little report here while moving, so I had to do it some other time. But long day. Lots of lessons learned that I want to share with you, but looks like I'm not going to be able to do it. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think this little holder is going to hold up for me. But let's see. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's see if that holds up. Oh my. One of those days. Let's see. We'll see how long this lasts. Okay. So, I got released from work, paid by your union dues to help coworkers. I need you all to understand when dealing with these managers, and most of the managers at the CTA are mismanagers. Let's see. So they do a poor job. They do a very poor job managing the workforce. Frankly, a lot of them are very insecure. Their feelings get hurt. They run it. They run the shops and the terminals and the company like they're doing us a favor. But when we come to work, and we have no paid sick leave, yet we are constantly punished and abused because of that. So, you know, if you have to leave work early because you feel sick, or you're feeling you can't come in because you're sick, they take offense to this. They actually take offense to you getting sick, and they think they're doing you a favor by saying, yeah, you can go home and we won't write you up. They do this arbitrarily. Everything I dealt with today, the numerous cases, wasn't too many, but it was enough. It was all related to absenteeism. And absenteeism not being the fault, not being habitual. It just, life happens, okay? In an ideal world, and I dealt with one worker in this way, in an ideal world, you will submit a piece of paper on a form called the RDO, requested day off, and you will say, I can't come to work this day, I have this issue and that issue. Planned a vacation, or a funeral, of a friend, whatever. I'm moving. And they should grant it to you. And they say, well, I can't because I don't have anybody to fill these slots, saying I can't let it happen. So they make you, of course, resentful. One way to deal with this would be the paid sick leave, minimum state mandated law. And you cannot be ashamed, don't feel ashamed to believe you deserve paid sick leave. We have a lot of boss talking, co-workers we even maybe do it ourselves. We start thinking like a boss. Are people going to abuse these paid sick days? It's none of. What is an abuse? How do you abuse? Let me ask you this. How do you abuse a sick day? How? You have a right to get paid while taking time off without being punished. How do you abuse that? It's not unlimited. So how do you abuse it? You know, let me tell you something. If you may not believe this because maybe you've been working at the CTA for so long, you just don't believe it, but it's true. If the workers are happy, they enjoy coming to work, they feel safe when they come to work, like they won't get killed or hurt, injured, they feel respected, guess what's going to happen? They're going to want to come to work. They're not going to want to take time off. Okay? They're at peace. I've never been so healthy working at the CTA since this last pick, because I've built up enough seniority that I can pick a location that's near my home, and I'm working with people who are at peace. I'm working with a manager that just stays in the office and tells us what he needs done, and we tell him what we need to get it done, and that's it. No drama, no berating us. I've never felt sick. I never had any flare-ups of injuries and nothing. You got a workforce where part of the workforce is facing the public all the time. So that's the frontline workers, the operators, the janitors, the platform servicers, and even some of the tractors. They're pretty much on the right of way, but they still got to deal with the public, the scrutiny. And sometimes there's people in the public who want to, who believe we don't deserve the job we have and we're lazy and whatever, or we're just an easy target for them. That's stressful, okay? So the last thing a frontline worker needs is when they go back to the terminal, if they got to go home sick, they get written up. Us in maintenance and in the offices, we need managers to respect us when we need time off, okay? And yeah, it's excessive absenteeism if we keep calling off, but we don't have any paid sick leave. Now there is a little thing with the instructors and the universal rail supervisors with some paid leave, but it's very restrictive and it will lead to punishment. All right, you cannot punish people. The CTA, we have allowed the CTA to punish us for being human. We have to stop that. I wouldn't have any of these meetings today, any of them, if we had paid sick leave. I don't think any of the meetings I had today, if we have full-time jobs for all CTA workers, it wouldn't have the stress of poverty on their backs. The solutions to the problems here are simple, very, very, very simple, but it requires concentrated effort on the behalf of us as the CTA workers, and frankly, our union leadership. And our union leadership is clearly not interested in helping us fight like a real union. For them, fighting is, here, give me a grievance, after you've been violated. let's find some way that we can get around this, that we can fight this and give it to an arbitrator. It doesn't work. This process of grievance arbitration is a actual hindrance to getting justice at work. We are a laughingstock as CTA workers amongst all the other city workers. We are a laughingstock. Our union is a laughingstock. They think it's a joke. They think, what the hell? And then they look at us as the workers and say, what's wrong with you people? Why do you keep electing these people? And of course, you and I know that they make it hard as hell to run for office. They make it hard. They got meeting. You got to go to meeting attendance requirements. And now Local 241 is doing that crap. So we all know when we go to the meeting and we speak up, we're out of order, we get talked down to, we're being told what's going to happen and what we got to take. It's a constant sales, shoving stuff down our throats. When we exercise our democratic rights to direct our union through the Robert's Rules of Order, they throw all that out the window, and they use Robert's Rules and the bylaws to manipulate the argument and to keep us quiet. But y'all gotta participate in your membership meeting. You gotta organize with your coworkers. Right now, me and others are going around the system with a petition for virtual membership meetings. We have to have access to our membership meeting virtually. Every union's doing it. I don't know of any union that's worthwhile that does not have an online component. I'm not talking about a Facebook Live where the president just talks at you and decides whose questions to answer and who to cut off and who to block. I'm talking about a meeting in a building that has access for those who are not present through the internet, with full voting privileges and to count for quorum and their meeting credit. We need this. So if you see me and others with this petition, please sign it. We want to get a whole lot of signatures. I'm not going to tell you how many, but we need your participation. And guess what? If you don't want to wait for me and the others to come around with a petition, you can make a petition too. And let me know and send it in. I encountered a coworker today who it was an interesting conversation. And I always know when other people cannot defeat the truth of what I'm saying when they start to get personal. It's like that pervert president of ours, Penny McCoach. You know, we are actually debating an issue regarding a worker with wages, a second chancer, and she doesn't like my quip about how it's like these second chancers don't have any union representation anyway, so what difference does it make? Because I'm frustrated. And then she's got to say, and then she says, you're welcome. I say, or she said, thank you, you know, after telling me I got to keep my thoughts to myself. And I said, you're not welcome, you know, and I'm like, why are they even in our union? We won't take care of them when they do grievances unless they're fired, huh? Some crap. It just says they stretch everything in the attachment O for the second chancers, except the part about where they're not supposed to do anything but clean rail cars at the rail stations. Anyways, you know, she gets personal, and because I said, well, I'm just going to keep coming to these meetings. You're not going to stop me. And she said, well, go say that to your wife. I mean, you bring my wife into this. I mean, your arguments are so weak. You have nothing, President Penny, to debate me on. You can't defeat my argument, so you must go after my wife. I mean, I never do that for you. I never do that for you or any other of your bootlicking, boss-loving, sellout, traitor loyalists, okay? And that's what you are. I'm not talking about your spouse. I'm not talking about your weave or your dress or your lipstick or your religion. It's just, I'm talking about your philosophy. And here I am. I see a coworker, and this coworker says, "Oh, what you doing out here?" I said, "Oh, on your union day today." He says, "Oh, you saving jobs?" I said, "No, I'm giving the managers a hard time to try to keep them from taking our jobs." And he said, "Oh, yeah, people just don't want to work. People don't want their job." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Well, I guess people don't want to come to work because they're treated like crap, and they don't have any paid sick leave." "Oh, yeah, they don't deserve it. We don't have that at the CTA." "Well, I say it's wrong. It's the law. So it's time for us to have paid sick leave." Well, we don't deserve it. We're just going to abuse it." I said, "No, it's a right that everyone should have paid sick leave. It's a right. So, you can, well, why are you wearing that? They let you wear that?" He's talking about this uniform. I say, "I cover up the logo. I can wear whatever I want. I'm not on CTA time. I can wear whatever I want. You can't do that." I said, "I can wear whatever I want, and I can continue to fight for us." "Well, you fighting for people you don't care." "No, I'm fighting for you, brother, and I'm fighting for me. Right? We need to." "Oh, yeah, you're hostile." Okay. So, these people. Sister Cheryl says, "You really nice. Because if she said anything about my husband, I would have had her crying for 6 years." Yeah, thank you, Sister Cheryl. Well, trust me, I texted someone else some very violent things after she said what she said. And of course, I trust this friend of mine, and he won't tell nobody what I sent. But I had to tell somebody because I was really mad. But my point is, here this coworker, it can't argue with me and starts talking about the clothes I wear. You're worried about the freaking clothes I wear, and I'm talking about our employer is in violation of the law. The CTA is in violation of the law. I want each of you to look up on your phone. Don't use AI. I want you to look up on your phone Illinois paid leave for workers, for all workers. All. Look it up. And Sister Shell says part-time deserve paid sick and vacation. Absolutely, and holiday. Part-time, it shouldn't even exist. At the most, someone should be part-time for 6 months. Maybe they're having trouble with their probation. Boom, you got 6 months part-time. But you've got to turn over. None of this. All these part-timers are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. The Second Chance is working 40 hours. CSA is working 60, 70, 80. It's just horrible. The flagmen, if they can get 40 hours, they're doing it. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. But I want y'all to look up that law. It's a law. Well, we're an exception because we have a union. Don't you understand that the point of having a union is that your benefits and wages are better than those who are not union? So if it's a law not to keep you from having it. It's a law so that those who don't have a union can have it. We should have it at the CTA. CTA workers should have paid sick leave. I am taking all of the photos of our new or acting CTA president PR photos that they're posting publicly, showing her talking to the riders, talking to the workers, and maybe you've seen it. And so there's a picture of me holding a sign paid sick days for all CTA workers. And so I'm putting that image of myself in her pictures. Because I'm not sure, but I don't think she understands what we're going through. Maybe she does. But even so, we need to make it clear to the new president or the acting president, whatever you want to call her. Enough of the status quo. Enough with Dorville, Mr. 33%. Don't let the door hit you, Dorville Carter. Now he's making $700,000 at a hospital sucking those poor people's blood. I mean, you gotta understand, President Nora, that I'm thinking Dora the Explorer. President Nora, you gotta understand that the barbaric treatment of the workers is why the service is not recovering and why it will never recover. And brothers and sisters who are in the CTA, you need to start facing the facts. You can no longer blame your coworkers for not wanting to come to work. You can't. Because even you have to convince yourself to keep coming. And when you're sick and you know you're not going to get paid or you're going to get written up, you're having to convince yourself that this is acceptable working conditions. And you can blame me. You can say, Boogeyman, you are too extreme. Okay, you're in a 4-story house. It's apartment. You're on the 4th floor. Every apartment's on fire. Flames shooting out the window, and there's flames at your door in your bedroom, right there by the window. Is it too extreme for you to try to escape the building from the 4th floor, whether you're gonna try to climb or jump? Or would you rather stay in as the flames melt your skin? The CTA is falling apart. Everyone said the physical cliff. Excuse me, it's fiscal cliff, not physical. Fiscal, financial, money. And this was put here by the mismanagement and the politicians. This is by design. They're hoping to privatize. And automation, everything. They just want to get rid of all the workers. But they're destroying it. And by destroying our morale, our benefits, our pay, our seniority, our union, our pension, and all these part-time jobs are part of destroying our pension. They have made the CTA what it is now. And they're blaming us. And the politicians who are clueless to what we go through are saying, oh, the CTA needs to show accountability. We want to see performance metrics. We want to see this. We want to see that. And then the CTA will have funding. Okay, so basically you just don't want a Chicago Transit Authority, Mr. Politician. Because it will never get better. Never. Like I told y'all, every write-up I had to deal with today, your union dues paid for me to be off work today. Every single one of them was rooted in what? The lack of paid sick leave. We should have at minimum, according to the law, 1 hour for every 40 hours work. Irrevocable, and it can roll over. If you never get sick, you have lots of sick days. I see comments coming up. I'm sorry. I have to focus on the road. But you got to have that minimum. It has to be better than the minimum. But we're unions, so we got to do better. Okay? So let's say in 2 years, we got a general election coming up. And I'm running for president. I'm running. If no one nominates me, I'm nominating myself because I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand it. Every month after month after month, I keep bringing up we need paid sick leave, and all these bootlickers, they don't want to do nothing about it. But we have to make a new contract. It's like we don't even have a union. We're gonna have to sell that money pit on 11204 Southwest. We're gonna have to downsize all this crap that we're blowing money on. No more sports, trips, and parties. And we gotta make a contract that's our own as workers. And we are going to have to fight like a real union to get what we want. And Mark and Penny and Keith, they don't want to fight. They just take what, hey, we want this raise and that raise and this raise and this raise, and a little percentage here, percentage there. Okay, here you go, guys. Okay, thank you very much. All right, we're fighting for you guys. Here you go. Here's some money. The wages that you and I earn, yes, we need more money. I totally agree. But it's barely a third of what our lives are about at the CTA. Because I want you to understand, if you have no paid sick leave, that affects your wages, right? Because you're going to take off, you're going to do an intermittent FMLA or whatever, continuous leave FMLA, you're going to do a short-term disability, whatever it is, your wages are taking a cut. For us mechanics, repairers, maintenance people, we're not given the proper tools to do our job, so we end up buying our own tools. That's affecting our wages, okay? We don't get the proper tools, and we don't buy our own tools, and now the stuff we have doesn't work. Operators have radios that don't work. All of this stuff affects our wages in the long term. The health insurance, it affects our wages in the long term. The percentage we put into the pension, it affects our wages. All of this stuff. So we've got to fight for these things. But paid sick leave, y'all, paid sick leave, you know, that's something I feel very passionate about, because all I see, time after time, meeting after meeting, grievance after grievance, I see how paid sick leave, real good paid sick leave benefits that exceed the state law, will eliminate almost all of the write-ups, and full-time jobs for all. Because the part-time jobs are keeping the workers in poverty. The part-timers are in poverty. Homelessness is growing among CTA workers. You can say you don't believe me, but I talk to members and they talk to me. We have full-timers dealing with homelessness. Oh, well, they just wasting money. Oh, see, this boss talk. No, they're not. You got to understand, people had a different life before they came to the CTA. Working at the CTA has given so many people of different ethnicities who did not have privileges of inheritance or education to escape poverty, to have a decent life with some disposable income, to be able to buy a home, buy a car, a bike. But now it's become, well, come on in and we're going to see how much we could squeeze out of you and torture you and how poor you can be and miserable. And then maybe we'll turn you over. And then when we turn you over, we're just going to take a whole bunch of things. So half of your money will be gone with deductions. This is terrible. This is terrible. I see Sister Kendra. All the members with cancer and other disease. And sometimes these diseases are brought about by the working environment we're in. Yeah. So these workers are punished when they're sick, written up because their mobility might be limited while they're being treated. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? They're always looking, and then they say, here, fill out this reasonable accommodation form, and then they use it to fire you. It's cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded. So, brothers and sisters, I encourage you to learn about the Americans with Disability Act, ADA. It may be, you may think ADA is just for elevator status boards and stuff. Elevators, but it's deeper than that. Read it, look into it. And look into the history of the ADA. How did the ADA become what it is? If this current dope that's in office doesn't get rid of it, I doubt it, but who knows? The ADA came in existence by people like you and me, everyday people that would just organize protests, civil disobedience. They hit the streets. The ADA didn't just come about because some politicians like, yeah, let's make an ADA. No, it became because people fought for it. Our rights to be able to get a loan, a mortgage, or a bank account, or a loan for a business, all of these things for people of African descent, blacks and Latinos, Asians, Native Americans, have all been discriminated against and are being discriminated against at various levels throughout history. Laws were made to stop that based on men and women like you and me who sacrificed and hit the streets, engaged in protest, civil disobedience, strikes, all kinds of action, some violence as well. And am I calling for that? No. But I'm saying even in every revolutionary struggle, you have various levels of resistance. And that includes, and often includes, armed rebellion. Okay? Am I calling for that? No. I'm just telling you the truth. But my point is, we can't just rely on voting and hoping. I'm going to vote for so-and-so and he's going to do this for us. No, that's not how it works. You vote for people and they're supposed to help you get what you want. Help you fight. Back you up when you fight. Like I'm a militant union rep, as you know. Does our president back me up in anything I do? Hell no. No way. In fact, she does the opposite. She helps management punish me. But it's not working out well for them. With all these court hearings that I've been dealing with the CTAMS managers in. So I know it's been a long video, and frankly, I'm very sleep deprived, and by blabbing on like this while taking this car, and I hate driving, I tell you, it's actually helped me stay awake. So I really hope that you will research the paid sick leave for all CTA workers, for all workers, sorry. It's Illinois paid leave for all workers, okay? And I really hope that you will tell your union reps you want this now and you want no more excuses, okay? They're gonna make excuses, that's all they do. They just do stuff to make excuses. You tell them, no excuses. Help us get this now. You tell them, you don't elect these people to be your boss. You elect these people to represent what you want, to help you, support you, and make sure your union your collective worker organization is strong to fight and organize to help us fight our greedy, stingy, outlaw employer. And that's what they are. Just stop thinking that you can't fight and that someone else has to fight for you. No, we fight together. And I would definitely join with you in your fight. But I can't take all the hits though. And that's one thing you got to do as a worker, as a union member. I'm a union official. But look, you got to put your name on some documentation, on paperwork, on these tyrants. Don't just complain to me about it and then expect me to do something. And you're not going to do something too. And yes, if you do a grievance, yes, if you do a complaint, there's a chance the manager will try to retaliate. But that is illegal. Okay? Even when they punish you for getting hurt, that's illegal. So we have to fight. But we have to keep fighting. We can't give up. And a lot of us do that. We got one fight, and then it turns out pretty good, but then they come back for us, and then you run away. You can't do that. You must keep fighting. Don't stop. Don't quit. They want to demoralize you. They want you to quit. They want you to be afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. And I feel that, and I know that the more I face my fear of CTA mismanagement, the more I face my fear of poverty, the more I face my fear of being punished, the more I face my fear of death, the stronger and the more fearless I become. But if you want to struggle, and then I walk with you on the path of struggle, and then you walk off the path, you say, I'm going home. Wait, you leaving me? I'm on your path. So how can, then now, here I am, open. There we got him. Don't do that to me. And I ain't gonna let you do it to me anyways, but just don't do that to each other. Stick with each other. Help each other. You see your coworker in the office with the manager, knock on that door. Everything okay? You got union representation? Yeah, union ain't. Okay. You need a witness? I could be a witness. I'll be a silent witness. Take care of each other. When you see your coworker hurt or written up, don't laugh at him. Don't talk about him. Well, hey, look at them. They got what they deserve. Find sympathy for these people. Because it's going to be you. It's just a matter of time. It's going to be you. You're going to be written up. You're going to be unjustly written up or even fired. And you got these managers that are cursing you out and being mean and threatening. You need to report them. Report them to me. I got something that very few people are privy to. It's called the M1000. They got an M100 for us, right? That's the record of all our sins. Nothing good is ever on the M100. They don't put good stuff. Only your sins, only bad stuff. Well, I got one for the CTA mismanagers. I got an M1000. And I'm so nice. Forgive me, Sister Cheryl. I'm so nice that if there's a manager or a coordinator that people like, I put them in there too. There's a handful. There's two in the whole system of rail and bus that have no complaints. None. All the others got complaints. But I keep a record. So you send me your complaint. You say, I just want to just rant. Okay, I'm going to put it in my M1000. I'm saying, can I give you a credit for it? No, you can't. Okay, I'm just gonna put it in. But you got to speak up against these people, okay? And I'll be glad to help you. I'm not gonna speak up for you necessarily, okay? But I will speak up with you. That's my job as a union rep. Well, that's about it. I'm just about home. We're at 79. It's starting to pick up. So I hope you enjoyed this. I apologize for the weird light and the noise. And stay in touch. I have a virtual union hall where I have classes, steward classes. I do reports about what's going on in the meetings. I also do polling, and you can interact with me, and I give you weekly updates, and you'll get a subscription to the newsletter as well. So you're missing out if you're not in the virtual union hall. And I know there's people that hate my guts, and they're like, yeah, that guy, that propaganda, that guy. So that's fine. It's okay with me. But those of you who want to know and be in the know, let me know. And I will send you the link for it so that you can register and never miss any updates. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good rest of your day.